Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going way beyond just sleek cars and diving into the fascinating story of Sakichi Toyoda.
Oh, yeah. Sakichi Toyoda.
You know the name Toyota, but we're going back further to the man behind the empire.
Yeah, most people wouldn't necessarily associate Toyota with machinery and technology, but
Yeah,
that's exactly what we're exploring today.
exactly. We're going right to the source with this one. Excerpts from The Story of Sakichi Toyoda, right from the Toyota Industries Corporation website. So get ready to uncover the spirit of invention that fueled Sakichi's life,
Ready.
starting in a time of massive change for Japan.
Picture this. The late 1800s. Japan is rapidly modernizing during the Meiji Restoration. Huge societal shifts. Japan transitioning from a feudal society to a modern industrialized nation. It was during this pivotal time in 1867 that Sakichi Toyoda was born, in a small village called Yamaguchi-mura.
And it wasn't exactly a life of luxury, was it?
Not really.
His father, Ikichi, was both a farmer and a carpenter, skilled craftsman. But the village was struggling with poverty. It makes you wonder, how does someone rise from those circumstances to become such a pivotal figure?
Well, that's what makes his story so inspiring. Sakichi had this just insatiable thirst for knowledge. He devoured newspapers and magazines, even forming study groups. Then in 1885 came the Patent Monopoly Act. Almost like this act sparked something in him.
Yeah, talk about an aha moment.
And
Imagine realizing the power of invention, how it could drive progress and uplift society.
absolutely.
He saw that potential and dove right in.
Oh, he did.
Hmm.
Initially, his work focused on alternative energy sources. Pretty remarkable considering this was the era of steam power and expensive coal. He was already looking ahead to a future fueled by more sustainable resources.
Yeah, he definitely had a forward-thinking mindset. And while those early energy ventures weren't successful, they revealed his vision. So how did he transition from alternative energy to those incredible looms he became known for?
Well, the turning point came when Sakichi saw the struggles within his own community. Families were using inefficient hand looms for weaving. It was a practical problem that impacted their livelihoods, and he saw an opportunity to make a real difference.
He wasn't just dreaming up ideas. He was actually building and rebuilding looms, experimenting in a barn. This wasn't some fancy lab. This was good old-fashioned tinkering and problem solving.
Absolutely.
So he attends the 1890 National Machinery Exposition in Tokyo. Imagine being exposed to all those cutting-edge advancements. It must have fueled his determination to push boundaries even further.
You can imagine.
I bet that trip was a game changer.
It was.
That same year, he creates the Toyota wooden hand loom and received his first patent in 1891 at just 24 years old. What made this loom so special? It's not like he reinvented the wheel, right?
Right, but it's all about efficiency and simplicity. Traditional looms required two hands to operate, but Sakichi's design only needed one. This boosted efficiency by an incredible 40 to 50%, and also resulted in higher quality fabric.
That's a massive leap. It's not just a minor tweak, it's a fundamental improvement. You'd think he'd be satisfied with that. But Sakichi wasn't one to rest on his laurels.
Exactly. He quickly realized that while the wooden hand loom was a step forward, it still relied on manual power, which limited its potential. This sparked his pursuit of the power loom, a machine that could automate the weaving process and achieve even greater efficiency. This is where things get really interesting.
So to really test his ideas and fund his research, Sakichi does something pretty bold in 1892. He opens a small factory in Tokyo. He clearly understood that being in the thick of it, experiencing real-world manufacturing, would make him a better inventor.
That's a key insight.
Sadly, the factory closes after a year. But it wasn't a failure, was it?
Not at all.
It was a valuable lesson in production management and the realities of running a business.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the factory closes. But this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. He invents the Toyota winding machine in 1894, a device described as epoch-making for its efficiency. What made this invention so impactful?
This invention was brilliant on a couple of levels. First, it addressed a major problem in the textile industry. By dramatically improving the process of winding yarn onto bobbins, it became a commercially successful product. This provided Sakichi with the funds to continue pursuing his power loom dream. Second, it demonstrated that he could not only invent something amazing, but also turn it into a thriving business.
So he partners with Tohachi Ishikawa, a customer who saw the potential of this winding machine, and they form the Okawa Mempu Company. It seems like things are really starting to take off.
They are. And he didn't limit himself to just one power source for his looms. He experimented with both steam and oil engines. This shows his adaptability and willingness to explore different solutions, not just sticking to what was familiar.
So far, we've seen his drive for improvement and his ability to turn challenges into opportunities. But I'm guessing the road to success wasn't without its bumps. Were there any major setbacks he had to overcome on his quest for the power loom?
One of the biggest setbacks came with his first attempt at creating an automatic shuttle changing mechanism. This mechanism was supposed to automatically replenish the weft yarn without stopping the loom, a huge step towards full automation. Unfortunately, the initial trials weren't successful.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
That must have been a tough pill to swallow, especially after putting so much effort into it. How do you deal with that kind of setback?
Well, it's really a testament to his character that he didn't give up.
Yeah.
He viewed it as a learning experience. In fact, this is when he had a realization. The importance of thorough testing and commercial trials before releasing any invention. He believed an invention shouldn't hit the market until it's proven to be truly effective.
Right. You don't want to just rush something out there
Exactly.
before it's really ready for prime time.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of an idea, but making sure it actually works and is reliable is crucial.
This belief was further solidified after meeting Dr. Yokichi Takamine. During his travels to the U.S. and Europe, Dr. Takamine, a renowned scientist, stressed the responsibility inventors have to ensure their inventions have real-world beneficial applications before sharing them with the world.
Okay.
This advice really resonated with Sakichi.
So taking this advice to heart, he refines his designs. By 1906, he develops two new Toyota power looms, the 1905 and 1906 types. These were big steps forward, weren't they?
Absolutely. The 1906 model in particular marked a significant improvement in terms of efficiency and the quality of fabric produced. But what's even more impressive is that around this time he came up with a completely revolutionary idea, the circular loom.
A circular loom. That sounds pretty different from the standard looms of the time. What was so revolutionary about this concept?
Well, think about it. Back then, looms used a horizontal back and forth motion to weave fabric. Sakichi's circular loom, on the other hand, used a circular motion for weft insertion and beading. He envisioned a machine that operated smoothly and continuously, a stark contrast to the jerky movements of conventional looms.
Wow, that's thinking outside the box. Was he able to actually build a working model of this circular loom?
Developing the circular loom was a challenging journey. With both steps forward and setbacks, it remained a lifelong ambition for him. Remember, the textile industry at that time was deeply rooted in traditional methods. To introduce such a radical concept, he'd need not only technological innovation, but he'd also have to overcome a lot of resistance to change.
Yeah, that makes sense. In 1907, he co-founds Toyota's Loom Works, Ltd., a major accomplishment. But it sounds like his time there wasn't always smooth sailing. What happened?
Even though he was a managing director and chief engineer, he was disappointed by the company's lack of support for his rigorous testing methods. Remember how strongly he believed in commercial trials? Well, the company seemed more interested in quick profits than taking the time for thorough development.
So he was basically butting heads with the company over their approach. What did he do? I can only imagine how frustrating that must have been.
He made a bold decision. He resigned from the company in 1910. He then embarked on a trip to the U.S. and Europe to observe firsthand how their factories operated. He was determined to gain new insights that could help him move forward with his own innovations.
Wow, that's a big decision. Walking away from a successful company to pursue his vision independently. What did he learn from that experience?
Well, while he was impressed by the sheer scale of Western factories, he wasn't completely convinced by their methods. In fact, he saw weaknesses in the looms being used there, and returned to Japan even more confident in his own designs. This trip solidified his belief in his own ingenuity and fueled his determination to pave his own path.
So he returns to Japan. In 1911, he establishes the Toyota Automatic Weaving Mill in Nagoya. This seems like a major turning point.
It definitely is. This mill was his testing ground, a place where he could freely experiment and refine his inventions. This is also where his story starts to transition towards the larger company that would eventually become the Toyota Industries Corporation.
Okay, so how does he go from running a single mill to leading a massive industrial company?
It's an interesting evolution. He quickly realized that to create the perfect automatic loom, he needed high-quality yarn. This led him to expand into spinning operations. He understood that different stages of manufacturing are interconnected. You can't have a great final product without quality materials.
Right, so he's kind of playing the long game here, thinking several steps ahead, not just trying to improve the loom itself. He wants to control the quality of every part of the process.
Right. In 1918, the business is flourishing. and he forms Toyota Boshoku, a spinning and weaving company. This is a major step towards creating a larger, more integrated enterprise to ensure everything runs smoothly. He entrusts management to his son-in-law, Rizaburo Toyoda, allowing himself to focus on his passion, invention.
Wow, that's a smart move.
Yeah.
He recognizes his own strengths and the need for different skill sets to manage a large company. But even with this delegation, his ambitions don't seem to shrink. He sets his sights even further.
That's right. In 1918, he heads to China, specifically Shanghai, to study their weaving industry. This wasn't just a fact-finding trip. He had plans to expand his business there.
It's amazing how he constantly seeks new challenges and opportunities for growth. Was he successful in China?
He spent a year in Shanghai, meticulously planning and setting up a large manufacturing facility, which became Toyota Boshoku Sho, solidifying his presence in the Chinese market. This speaks to his boldness and vision, a quality perfectly captured in a quote attributed to him. Open the window. It's a big world out there.
I love that.
He wasn't afraid to venture beyond familiar territory.
That quote is so inspiring. It really embodies his adventurous spirit and relentless drive. But even with all this expansion, he never loses sight of his main goal, perfecting the automatic loom.
Exactly. He returns to Japan, and in 1923, recognizing the importance of extensive testing, he builds a dedicated facility in Korea for his automatic loom project.
And this is where it all culminates. After years of hard work setbacks and countless refinements, he achieves his goal in 1924. The non-stop shuttle change, Type G automatic loom. Imagine over 30 years in the making.
This is what dedication and persistence can achieve. The Type G loom was revolutionary. It featured an automatic shuttle change that allowed for continuous high-speed operation without any interruptions for replenishing the weft yarn. Can you imagine how much this boosted productivity and efficiency?
It's no wonder a British competitor called it the magic loom. But it wasn't just about speed, was it? What other features made this loom so special?
Sakichi always cared about the well-being of the people operating his machines. The Type G loom had safety features like automatic stops for warp and weft brakes, protecting workers from potential accidents. It also produced consistent high-quality fabric, solidifying his reputation for excellence.
So he reaches this pinnacle of engineering, but what did he do next? Take a well-deserved break and enjoy his success.
Not Sakichi Toyoda. He was always looking ahead. In 1926, he takes another bold step and establishes Toyota Automatic Loom Works, Ltd. This is the company that would eventually evolve into the Toyota Industries Corporation we know today. And this was much more than just a manufacturing company. It was built on the foundation of continuous innovation and research.
That's amazing. He essentially baked his passion for invention into the company's DNA. It's not surprising they went on to achieve such success. But there's more to the story, isn't there?
There is. The success of the Type G automatic loom brought international recognition. In 1929, Platt Brothers & Co., a major British textile machinery manufacturer, approached Toyota Automatic Loom Works to purchase the patent rights. It was a landmark deal, a Japanese invention being recognized and valued globally. It must have been an incredible moment for Sakichi.
Absolutely. He'd come full circle. From being inspired by Western technology to seeing his own inventions embraced on a global scale.
Unfortunately, Sakichi Toyoda passed away in 1930 at the age of 63. His legacy lives on, not just in the machines he created, but in the values he instilled in the companies he founded.
You're referring to the Toyota precepts, right? Those were the principles he developed to guide the company and its employees. Can you tell us more about them?
The Toyota precepts are all about dedication, continuous improvement, and social responsibility. They emphasize things like loyalty to the company, a constant pursuit of knowledge and innovation, being practical over frivolous, fostering a harmonious work environment, and always remembering to be grateful. These weren't just words on paper, they were woven into the company culture and still influence Toyota today.
It's incredible to think about how one person's vision can create such a lasting impact. From a small village in Japan to a global industrial giant, Sakichi Toyoda's story is truly inspiring.
It is. His journey resonates with all of us. Regardless of what we do or what we aspire to, it highlights the power of self-education, the importance of perseverance and adaptability, and the belief that human ingenuity can make a positive difference in the world.
His story reminds us that innovation isn't just about coming up with a brilliant idea. It takes hard work, dedication, and a willingness to learn from both our successes and our failures.
Absolutely.
So we've covered a lot of ground, from humble beginnings to global recognition. Sakichi Toyoda's life was an incredible journey of innovation, perseverance, and unwavering dedication to his vision.
Thinking about his story, what stood out to you?
For me, it's that unwavering dedication to continuous improvement. He never stopped learning, experimenting, and refining his ideas. Even after achieving success, he didn't just sit back and relax. He always wanted to push the boundaries of what was possible.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It wasn't just about the inventions themselves, it was his whole approach to business and leadership. He seemed to understand that real progress requires a long-term vision, a commitment to developing talent, and a culture that embraces innovation.
And the Toyota precepts really highlight that. They're not just about profits. They're about building a company that benefits society, fosters personal growth,
Yeah.
and creates a positive work environment. It's that kind of holistic approach that's still so relevant today.
Absolutely. It's fascinating to consider how Sakichi's legacy continues to impact the world today. His innovations in textile machinery completely revolutionized the industry, making it possible to mass produce high-quality fabrics. And think about the company he founded, Toyota. It's become a symbol of quality, efficiency, and innovation, not just in cars, but beyond.
Yeah, it's a great reminder that even small improvements, when driven by passion and persistence, can create a ripple effect that goes far beyond what we might initially imagine.
Exactly. So for everyone listening, we'll leave you with this thought. How can you apply Sakichi's Toyota precepts to your own life and work? How can you embrace continuous improvement, strive for excellence in everything you do, and make a positive impact on the world around you?
That's definitely something to think about. If you're interested in learning more about this remarkable innovator, I highly recommend checking out the Toyota Commemorative Museum of Industry and Technology in Nagoya, Japan. It's an amazing opportunity to see his inventions firsthand and learn more about the history of this incredible company.
And even a little online research will reveal just how far-reaching Sakichi Toyoda's impact has been. It's a story that continues to unfold even today.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this kind of deep dive so engaging. It's not just about learning historical facts. It's about discovering those timeless principles and insights that can inspire us to think differently, strive for excellence, and find our own ways to make a difference.
Yeah, and remember, every journey begins with a single step. Maybe this deep dive will spark an idea, ignite a passion, or encourage you to embrace a challenge. That leads to your own remarkable accomplishments.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep. Until next time.